Welcome back to Twin Terror. I'm David.
And I'm Gary.
And today we are going to talk
We're
about...
going to talk about the U.S. Supreme
Talking
Court.
over me. How dare you get your timing down.
Yeah, I've got the home field advantage here. So
The U.S. Supreme Court, eh?
Yes. And whether they're going to rule on presidential immunity this session, and if so, what are they going to give President Biden?
Clearly they are giving it all the contemplation and debate that it requires. Because,
Yeah.
Presidents, kings. I'm curious if SEAL Team 6 and 1 through 5 as well are ready to go.
Exactly. Biden should be there taking notes every single session where they argue this.
Now?
Yeah. Am I ready? Are we good?
Yeah, surround the Supreme Court the Supreme Court building with National Guard and Army troops and stuff like that. Make sure that they know that there's a good military presence to protect them.
Yep.
Not to influence.
We could get that to be a left-leaning Supreme Court real fast, depending on this next ruling.
A 3-0 left-leaning Supreme Court.
Okay, we shouldn't kid so much about that.
Who's kidding?
I
mean, entertainment purposes only. Clearly.
Yes, please.
We're not advocating violence.
No, we're
even if you couldn't be criminally convicted of it because you're the president.
Can I advocate beer?
Yeah.
Okay, I advocate beer. Beer helps a lot of things.
Firestone Walker beer. Okay, so
we are not sponsored, but we do find it delicious.
Yeah. So maybe one day.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court's been contemplating this for a while. You think it would be a pretty easy answer. Presidents are kings, but I'm sure there's a lot of nuance I don't appreciate.
Maybe they are kings. Maybe there's a little bit of King of Swords in there.
If they are,
we're going to find out.
They could have ruled on it. What are they going to delay it till Trump gets elected and then say,
yes, all the immunity you can eat.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's see what we got.
Let's look at the energy around the Supreme Court decision. I would have thought it would have been out by now, but here we are in June and we're still not out yet.
Yep. So, how are they going to rule on this immunity?
Man, Trump was kind of counting on this one to get him out of his New York criminal trial. They're doing him no favors.
No.
I'm sure Judge Cannon's waiting for it too.
Yep.
All right, come on down. Let's see what the energy is around the Supreme Court decision on whether or not presidents are kings. Entertainment purposes only. Hey, look, we got the Justice Card.
Oh,
amazing.
That's appropriate.
It's Foundation of the Readings, the Justice Card.
I think we were stacking this.
The Supreme Court here, ready to go with the High Priestess.
That's appropriate
too.
Too.
Making their rulings a wise ruling on this one, and 3 major arcana right out the chute here. And underneath is the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. I don't think they've finished debating it yet. I don't know what there is to debate. Well, I do know what there is to debate. They're trying to come up with a way, some type of test that lower courts can do to determine if the president is doing something in their capacity of the president of the United States versus the private individual.
Yeah, certainly that's going to come to roost on the election interference down in Georgia.
Well, you've got that. You've got they'll say like if a president sends a drone strike against a military leader, is that murder or is that an official act as the president versus causing an insurrection?
Yeah.
To halt a proceeding of Congress, and then there's that whole bit in the middle.
You and your hypotheticals.
So but I think that's the problem is that they're trying to hash out all the hypotheticals.
Yeah. And
again, they're trying to sort of parse. They're trying to stretch this out because this is what's holding up the January 6th case, especially the January 6th case.
Yep.
More so than any of the others. Judge Chutkin has basically said she can't continue the case until the Supreme Court rules. But it looks like, from the way this spread's coming out, is they're ready to rule on this. So we got to make sure this video comes out earlier in the week rather than later in the week. I mean, we've got a video coming up for Sunday, but this would be like the Tuesday reading or something. By the way, this is recorded on Saturday, June 1st.
June the 1st, yes.
So if the Supreme Court rules before we get this video out, we got it out first.
Yeah, we told you what was going to happen.
Unless it's wrong, in which case
we were just
we'll delete it.
Because it's just entertainment purposes.
Yeah, that's right.
If we're wrong, it's only entertainment.
If it's wrong, we'll delete it.
We'll
in
edit
the,
it.
in the past, you've got the fight going on, the argument in the Supreme Court about, how are we going to do this? What's going on? But also at the heart of this is the January 6th insurrection, and the people trying to stop the lawful counting of ballots or electors. And, then you've also got SEAL Team 7 here, ready to take action on a moment's notice here. But I think this is just the debate that's going on in the Supreme Court right now. Look at all these major arcana.
Yeah, no kidding.
Current situation is the star card. I think they've sorted it out. They're ready to rule and unveil this rule for the rest of us to see what's going on. So, yeah, I think they're ready to go. I think they've made their ruling on it. Overarching energy is the Page of Swords. It's such a diminished. A Page of Swords. Swords are about intellect, intelligence. Pages are, novices.
A young energy. Someone who's not doesn't have a lot of experience.
And kind of what I'm getting from this is that, it's just the arguments are of the majority are feeble. They're like, you can picture the three liberal justices looking at the arguments of the majority saying, you've got to be, this is the best you got. We're going to rule on this, and which should be a no. Actually, it should be a get this thing out of our docket. Why are we even discussing this? To it should be a flat out no, get out of here. To all right, now we have to spend all this time on this minutia that everybody understood what was and what wasn't, but it was never defined. So here we are. It's another subversion of the legal thing. Spy in the camp. This is John Roberts and the Republicans doing favors for Donald Trump. Because if trust me, if this was Obama doing this, I'm sure they would have had a ruling a long time ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you think that could be the quality of the arguments that Trump's attorneys were throwing forth?
Yeah, I mean, the whole argument of allowing for presidential immunity is lame. It's
really, the fact that it's required for the president to do his job is a bunch of baloney.
Well, the fact that they want absolute 100% immunity is malarkey.
Yeah, okay. I don't think even the Supreme Court is going to give them that.
No, they're not going to. That's why to me this is also like we're going to kick it back down to the lower courts, the younger courts, the lower the not as noble as the Supreme Court.
Yes.
They have to make decisions.
That would be in alignment with what you read so far.
Yeah.
So the lower courts have more battles to do. Huh?
Yeah, and the lesson to be learned is, the lower court, it's going to get kicked back to the lower courts. The lower courts have to reevaluate everything to this new litmus test to determine if the president did something that was personal or in his office.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Now the thing is like, it's pretty freaking obvious which one's personal and which one isn't, but they're going to delay everything.
Yes, indeed.
Out comes the Tower.
Oh God!
Yeah. What does that mean? I think the Supreme Court is not going to rule for 100% immunity, and there are unexpected consequences from their ruling. So I think they're going to announce quickly. We might have to put this video up on for like Monday or something like that. Or going up Sunday night, going up Monday morning. But I think also what that's saying is there are unintended consequences that are going to happen out of this. So, like just an example of an unintended consequence. Let's say they rule that presidents have absolute immunity. What would be an unintended consequence of this?
Biden making a special SEAL T7 to go after political enemies?
The complete disbanding of the Supreme Court, for instance?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, what do you need them for?
Exactly.
That would be perfectly legal. Turn him They all get retired to Guantanamo Bay.
You know that November election? We don't really need it anymore.
That's right, exactly. Elections are so expensive when we all know who they want to vote for.
Yeah, you can't have a convicted felon as your nominee, so...
Yeah, the other unintended consequence could be like, okay, well, now lower courts have this power, and this could be something that comes back to haunt Trump and or his acolytes with court cases that may not have been impacted by this before.
And considering a lot of those court cases are not in, heavy red districts, they're in blue leaning districts, so they could certainly be setting the case law in their favor. With some liberal justices making case law on what's presidential and what's not.
I don't know what the unexpected consequences are.
Well, if you knew, then they wouldn't be unexpected, would they?
Well, yeah.
Maybe it's that bake sale that we were talking about in some of these early videos. That could be an unexpected consequence.
Yes, the presidential immunity bake sale.
Bake sale, yes. Got to raise some funds.
Get some freedom cupcakes. Patriot brittle. Come on. Okay. So is this going to... well, I want to ask, what are the unexpected consequences?
Yeah.
I want to know what that tower is.
Let's make them a little more expected here.
Yeah.
Come on, Spirit.
So we have a tower moment as the outcome of this. Let's see if we can get a little bit more insight as to what that tower is talking about.
Yeah, give us a little more detail.
All right, let's see. Ace of Wands. There's going to be strong actions taken. So it's almost like there's new legal battles that are brought up because of this. Mm-hmm. Again, unexpected consequences. New legal battles, and it's rulings that happen. So this could be like Judge Chutkin saying, okay, well, I'm going to have that hearing then. You said I have to determine it. I'm going to have a hearing on the January 6th insurrection. Jack Smith, present all your information. Donald Trump, present all your data. We can't be having this confusion out here, whether or not...
Confusion and illusions.
Yeah. Basically, well, you said we have to move forward with this. It might be like Judge Chutkin's like, I was going to wait 90 days before I was going to proceed with my case. I'm just going to go forward with it now. Mm-hmm. Present your data. Jack Smith's ready to go. Prosecution goes first. The defense, screw you. You can figure out defense on the fly here. And it's like, and then the justification is, well, you said I had to do this, so I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. It's not a jury trial. It's just going to be a hearing where all the information's put out there. Or she might just say, it could be something like that. But I think what's going to happen is that you've now put the action back in the lower courts. And the lower courts, it relies on integrity. Now, as we were saying at the beginning of this video, the true assault on our democracy is the assault on the court system, the legal system. Yep. You can have crazy political parties and such, but if the legal system is sound, it keeps the playing field level for all people and it keeps accountability there. If you can corrupt the legal system, you've ended the experiment. It's just a matter of time before the dictator comes in.
Yeah, because you've gotten rid of the check and balance.
Yeah. So in this case, Putin cannot believe how well this has worked. In a nutshell, Putin, don't think for a second this isn't Russian interference that's happening in here. So yeah, this is about integrity and looking and evaluating things. In the past, we have the Eight of Cups. This is the Supreme Court just abandoning its duties and kicking the can back to the lower court. So the Supreme Court has actually diminished their influence and their power by saying, you know what, we're kicking it back to the courts. They're giving more power to the lower courts to determine things. Current situation is the Knight of Cups. Some lower courts, I don't think the corruption of the court system has happened yet. With Judge Cannon, yeah, I'm seeing that. But outside of that, there's not too many areas where I see a problem. You had that one district in, was it outside of Houston or someplace like that? That all abortion cases went to, because it was like the one court where they could stay federal decisions. And they finally closed that loophole type thing. So Knight of Cups, this is about relationships, new opportunities, collaboration going forward. So again, we've got movement.
It's not fast movement, though.
It's movement, though.
Yeah, it is movement.
Relationships. The burden. They're putting the burden back on the lower courts. So the lower courts have to do more work.
Yep.
And I get the Eight of Cups walking away from it. They're passing the cup onto the lower courts. And the lower courts now have the burden to do that. But with that burden comes the value. So the lower courts are now determining the value of the case. I think what's going to happen is it's going to make appealing these cases much more difficult, because the Supreme Court can't come in later and say, oh no, wait a minute, time out, fins here. You can't prosecute him on this. It's like, well, yeah, we can, because you said we had to do it this way. We did it this way, and we now have the power to do that. Your own decision. Mm-hmm. So I think it chops off the Supreme Court at the knees for future appeals on decisions made by the lower courts.
Sun card.
Outcome is the Sun card.
Happy endings.
The other thing that comes to mind is there could be some coercion going on in the background here at the Supreme Court, and money changing hands, and that gets revealed too. But I think, to me, this goes to the lower courts, and there's unexpected consequences, because what it means is that the truth comes out.
Yep.
The truth comes out. It might take an extra step, but now that extra step is baked into the process. And I think the Supreme Court has cut off their nose to spite their face. They've done something that they haven't fully parsed out what the consequences are, because what they're trying to do is kick the can down the road to protect Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. And it will be either to Trump's detriment, the Republican Party's detriment, or the Supreme Court's conservative majority's detriment.
Yeah. I feel a little bit better after the second reading.
Yeah. What was it? What was this meeting on again? Oh, the Supreme Court, President Kings.
Yeah. What are the unexpected consequences?
Right. I get lost in it.
You get so lost in the story.
Exactly. It happens a lot. Anything else you want to know on this one?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So, don't fret.
It may take a little longer than we'd all hope it to take.
We got the Alvin Bragg conviction. We got the New York criminal trial conviction. He is a 34 times felon in this one. Even if he gets prison time and it's suspended and he has to clean up garbage in Central Park, feel free to throw a chip bag on the rumple up and throw it in front of them.
People be lining up to litter.
What would they do?
The Secret Service and Trump and the little neon vests.
Can you imagine Trump? They won't put him on the side of the freeway picking up trash, but you can picture him having to work in Central Park cleaning up trash. I mean, how would people get back at him? What would you throw down there to dirty diapers?
No, I would just really feed the pigeons a lot leading up to his day showing up.
Visions of Mel Brooks's High Anxiety.
Yes.
The Golden Gate Park sketch.
North by Northwest corner.
Oh, yeah. I mean, don't get, for the whole Trump trial thing, don't get too hung up if he doesn't see the inside of a prison cell. Do not get hung up by that. The fact that he got convicted on 34 felonies shows you that the court system's working. That even one guy on the jury, I don't know if it's a man or woman, I'm assuming a guy, just one person on the jury said they got all their news from True Social. And I want you to think about this.
And they still got a conviction.
And that's what I wanted you to think about this. It means that if you can get some of these folks off of the propaganda channels and have them look at objective facts back on Earth 1 where the rest of us live, they revert back to reasonable Earth One people. The only reason why they're just crazy as cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs is because they're constantly fed this crazy diet on Earth 2. Pull them out of Earth 2, put them in Earth 1. Some of them are savable. Yes. Maybe a lot of them are savable. So don't be ready to throw them all out with the bathwater.
Yeah, you got to get them out of the echo chamber first. And, and of course the echo chamber's on both sides, but the real Kool-Aid's on the far right echo chamber.
Between
that's for sure.
Fox News, OAN, Newsmax, 4chan, just these sites that are
and then you've got political leaders who maybe aren't quite as MAGA are out there supporting what Trump, all the crap he's saying about the Justice Department was weaponized by Biden and it was a corrupt judge who was out to get him, blah blah blah.
And there's no proof of that. There's no evidence of that. And those are the real traitors to this country.
Yeah.
They don't need to do that. They shouldn't be doing that. And there's no proof or evidence of that. But they're going out and spreading misinformation and disinformation. And that's the biggest threat to our society right now.
Let's save some souls here, folks.
Yeah, before you burn it all down. Okay, thank you for watching this video and support our channel. We appreciate it.
Yeah, please like, subscribe, leave comments. We like to read the comments. The comments do help the algorithm to really get this message out to people who really need to hear it.
Yeah, there are people out there that don't get their dose of Twin Tarot Talk. And their lives are very sad, dark places.
I want to see Twin Tarot Talk start to, sort of get its claw its way into the Fox News channel.
We'll be doxxed. Have people out cruising in front of your house, not my house.
Be like a little vine, just finding the path into the lush green landscaping that is Fox News.
Yeah, can you imagine? It would be like a dandelion cracking the sidewalk. Anyways, thank you again for supporting our channel.
Have
we
a
do
great
appreciate
afternoon.
All right, take care.
Take care. Bye.